Hey garden friends, I'm out here to do my summer containers for the back deck. This has been a while in coming and I'm finally getting to it. This is June 20th, 21st. But it's okay, these will all do great through the summer up until first frost. So let's get rolling on putting together our summer containers for the back deck, and we'll talk about the color scheme I'm going with this year. If you're new here, I wanted to just let you know that my name is Pam and I garden here at Flower Patch Farmhouse. I am in the mountains of Northern California, Zone 8B, and even though you think 8B would be a long growing season, I actually have a short growing season. Let's talk about the color scheme. Now, I was going with a white, pink, and I wanted a sky blue. I have had almost an impossible time finding a true sky blue. So I just settled on a medium blue, and this one's very, very close. I have this. This is an Evolvulus, Monrovia Evolvulus, bargain rack at Lowe's. Now, I had done a mid-June Lowe's visit. Let me turn my noise cancellation on. Got a lot of background noise, a lot of people working around here. Anyways, I did a mid-June Lowe's garden visit, showed you what was there, and I showed you some plants that I thought, oh, if these were on the garden rack, I'd get them. They weren't at that time. Not even 5 days later, I was over that area again unexpectedly. We stopped into Lowe's for some lumber for my new greenhouse. You guys are going to love this thing. It is gorgeous. My husband is designing it specifically for this area because of the heavy snows we get. And yeah, he is really putting in it everything that I needed but didn't have. And my wish list of, I love my little greenhouse. You've been in it with me if you've been through the winter watching my videos. I love that space. This one is going to be twice as big. And I may even get to fit a bistro set in there. So that's going to be a lot of fun this coming winter. Anyways, that being said, I couldn't help but brag on my greenhouse. Anyways, so the color scheme, I was going to finish my story about going to Lowe's. That's right. And then we went and I checked out the garden center, of course. And those plants that I was like, ooh, I'd get some of those, were on the bargain rack. And so I picked some up. Now here's one. It's a beautiful blue. This is a larkspur, but it's a perennial larkspur. It's supposed to bloom spring through summer. We'll see what it does. I've never had this before, so I don't know how it performs here. But that was a beautiful blue that I could go with. This is the Evolvulus. This is not perennial, but I'm thinking I can overwinter this in the greenhouse this winter. I'm going to try at least. This plant will bloom all the way till first frost, whereas this one just says through the summer. So we'll see how they work. Like I said, those two are new to me. I had gotten some lobelia, excuse me, and I tried to find, there is a sky blue lobelia that is just gorgeous, but no one has it. This one was as close as I could get. It's more of a medium blue. That's Crystal Palace. There's another one that I got. This one, you see the difference in color? Can you see the difference? This one is closer to the sky blue, and having the white edging really makes a difference, makes it that sky blue. So I have options for my containers. Now I have this rectangular drink tub. Got this at Walmart. I will put the link to it, I hope, here, as well as, I paid like $14. I think the last time I looked, they were $18, and I had bought a couple more. I had to drill holes in the bottom for drainage, which was easy enough with the right drill bit. And, filled it up with my DIY compost garden soil that I make, or potting soil. Any quality potting soil will work just fine. So for the pink, now I have this orchid colored geranium, and I have a lot of cuttings that I had taken, propagated, so I have plenty of them. But then I also have this one. This is a warmer pink. You see the difference? One leans toward the lavender. This one, and it has the white and has splotches. I'm having a hard time choosing which one to go with. The other petunias I have the petunias I have that I have lining my deck rail, which we can look at in a minute. I think they lean towards more this color. They're kind of in between. So I wanted to keep the color scheme simple. That makes it seem less busy out here. And that's what I want. I want this to be a calming place. So that's why I was going with the calm, coolish colors. But I could always integrate other containers with these and put them out in my garden if that's what I so desire. And I have several cuttings of this I started. In fact, here's one of them. It's in a little pot. It needs to go into a bigger container so it can get bigger. And also I can collect seeds off of these because these were seed grown. So like I said, I think I'm going to go towards the orchid colors of the geranium. Let me move this back so I can show you. I have a bigger one here in this container. So I've got things to pull from. And that makes it more affordable if you do it like that, where you have different flowers that you take cuttings from, propagate, you seed start. The other thing, the white, I do have some alyssum in here already. This is a white-edged ivy, small leaf ivy, which it overwintered out here just fine. There's a stick here of it that I need to trim back, and that will continue to grow. But I have some cosmos I started from seed. Now, when I potted these up from the tray, here's a tray of them. They should have been planted much sooner. I pinched it back. Let me get this up closer. I pinched it back, and hopefully it's focusing for you. So I've got 2 sprouts coming out. That will keep them shorter and bulkier. These other ones I probably should pinch back as well that are tall. I had just potted this up not that long ago, and I took the ones I pinched out and I'm starting them. I took cuttings basically, and so now I'll have more. These are the short white cosmos that I started from seed this spring, inside and out in the greenhouse. So that's the color scheme. Don't you think it'll be gorgeous? Together, I'm planting in here. Now, soil. So let's get going on this. The soil. See, that's just one cutting in there. Look at how beautiful it's doing. It's in a little terracotta pot. And I took this from the larger plant that I have over there. Anyways, now this is not the only. I have 2 of these tubs. Last year I did red geraniums. I did red and white in them. This year I want to go with the calmer pink, blue, and white. So I have 2 of these, and then I have other galvanized tubs out here that I will carry on with that color scheme and try to keep it cohesive and restful. Okay, so this soil has been in here probably 2 years. So there's space. I could go ahead and just plant the plants and add a little slow release fertilizer to it, and then use my eco-organic and my organic Rev. The organic Rev is a root stimulant that helps revive tired soil, and the eco-organic fertilizer is a liquid organic fertilizer made from grocery store waste that is immediately available to your plants. Other, like the granular you get, which I will add some granular slow released, that will take a few weeks, a month or 2 for the plants to absorb it. It has to be activated, so to speak, by making friends with the soil, biosphere. So anyways, that being said, I am going to replace a little bit of this soil with some other. So I need to get my bucket. I had it out here and then I used it for something else. To take a little bit of this out, and then I'll replace it with fresh that I have. And that was I made from my compost, some perlite, a little bit of the chicken litter that had been composted, which has a lot of rice hulls. That is HULLS, that I also use in place of perlite, and it works very well. It's a bedding that I put in the chicken house and chicken pen, and then, yeah, it doesn't just break down really quick. So it acts as a very good renewable source of a drainage enhancer like perlite would be. Now, other things I have used to keep my containers affordable is like ground covers that spread as a spiller. Now, I don't adhere, strictly to the thriller, spiller, filler. yeah, I just do what I want and what I like in here. But I could use like a creeping Charlie. Now, creeping Charlie I wouldn't put out in the garden. I have it in containers. It's pretty, it drapes. The ivy's the same way. I would not put it out in the garden. It kills the huge pine and cedar trees around here because it gets going. It likes the area, and it actually becomes invasive and can be destructive. So let me move this. So that one lobelia, I only have 2 of those 4-inch pots of this one, the sky blue. So I may put 1 in each of these, or I may use it to put in one of the circle containers, because with these, I may very well, most likely will use 1 of these in each, which it seems like it really does spread. So that's my thinking there. So, all right, let me get this trowel. And I have my bucket. Where did I just put my bucket? Oh, right over there. Okay, let's move this forward. Now, all of the alyssum, some of it I can move out of here because a little bit will go a long way. I just about dug up that ivy, which I think it's in the perfect spot. I'm just loosening up a lot of the soil. It's pretty dry. I let this dry out, and it did no harm to the alyssum. Now, this is really nice and loose soil. A lot of times you need to replace it because if it has a lot of peat moss in it, which I don't use with my DIY garden soil because it compresses and it starts to make the soil into a block. Now this I probably could have just used this, but that's okay. I'll reuse it in another container. Pine needles. The one thing about living in a pine forest, you get pine needles blowing in all the time. And no, pine needles are not acidic. The dried ones, the pH is average. It's the green ones that are highly acidic. You'll see things like, mulch your hydrangeas to get them to turn a certain color with the pine needles because they're acidic, and that's not accurate. I mulch with it all the time. Okay, let's see. That one's a big one, goes over there. Okay, that's a big chunk of, there's 2 chunks of alyssum. Let me get this one out. Now this one I'll just set over here. Okay. This one's kind of close to the center too. These are all like come back from seed, so they're free. All right, so now before I replace more soil, I will go ahead and place the plants. Now here's the ivy right in the center. It'll drape down. It's exactly what I want. And so I'm gonna just kind of play with placement. Let's just see how far this one spreads since it's new to me. 6 inches high by 12 inches wide. So that's a good spread. It probably is about that now. So I could put that one right there. And the centerpiece, I think I wanted like 3 or more of the white cosmos. And these will probably get about 2 feet high. So they'll be real pretty in there. I'm trying to debate on whether I want to put these ones in there. I think I'll put, do you think 3? I have plenty, but I would love to put them in other containers up here so they kind of all coordinate. Look at the roots on that, it's going down below. And then I think I'll put one of the ones that I transplanted and pinched back. Like when you pinch them back, they'll put out bulkier growth, so they'll fill in better. So these ones, like this one here, I may go ahead and pinch it back, though I will delay blooming because this one's going to bloom not too late. So I could go ahead and cut it back to here, and it probably will catch up once it gets into this fresh soil, amended soil, because I'll put the fertilizer in it. Then I think these will take off quite quickly. So these are kind of this direction, but that's okay. I can probably put that further back and So I've got plenty of the cosmos. So should you think maybe 5 or just stick with the 3? Well, we'll think about that for a minute. So I got another one of those. I had thought, like I said, of this in here, but I'm thinking this would do better in another container. It blends well, but it'll just make it more cohesive there without overcrowding this one. So, like, put in the geranium. I could put one here, scoot this closer to these, and put a geranium over here. Maybe one towards the front a little more. And then one over there. And these, this about that height. Let's see, where's the other orchid colored one? Ah, there it is. This was the one I just brought in. Look, it's got this lavender that came up in it. I did not put that there, I don't think, unless that's a seed. Unless I might have just stuck a piece in there. But this one, too, I could put in here. I don't want it to be overcrowded. So what do we think? I think the white would come in, fill in. I could space them out a little bit more and try it. This one I need to deadhead a little bit. Or with the white here, I could remove the alyssum completely. Or I could put some of the lobelia, the darker lobelia, in here too to kind of fill in low. So whichever way you turn it, it'll be beautiful. So I only have the ivy on the one side. So yeah, I think I will. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. Now I have my fresh soil here. And one thing about it, come fall, I could take the geraniums out, overwinter them in the greenhouse, like I did this last winter, or I could take cuttings, and keep them in the house. You could also overwinter them on a windowsill. I found those work the best. The red ones I'm pointing over there because it's sitting right behind the camera. I had them pushed up on my porch, up against the house, and they overwintered in the tub they're in. But we had a mild winter. So if we'd had one of those freaky winters where we dropped down into the 10s, like 210 degrees, that might not work for them. So I always have a backup, like some cuttings that I have in small pots like this, and that I can overwinter on a windowsill very, very easily. And they bulk up really quick. So I'm just adding. Now this soil, I'd already mixed in some of the slow release fertilizer. Let me make sure. I think it needs some more. You can smell this fertilizer. This one I'm using today is Espoma Organic Plant Tone. And yeah, it stinks to my mind. Some people say they like the smell. It smells like poopy compost. Don't breathe it in. It's not healthy to breathe in, so don't get that. Yeah, today we're supposed to go get some more, a big truckload of my turkey compost that I get every year. So with this, put in there. I'll need some over here to bring this level up after digging out. Now what I do with the old compost I took out, I mix it, or the potting soil I took out, I mix it with my compost. And if it needs loosening up, I'll put some more perlite or other things. Or I use horticultural sand, which is great. I think some of this has horticultural sand in it. Okay, I'm going to take this out of the pot and pop in here. This is a little piece of mesh that I put in the bottom to prevent soil from going through. And then I wonder if I should leave the lavender in there just for the hay of it. It's small. Yeah, why not? Because I can always pull it out later. Put that orchid. Now that will get larger. And now sometimes I'll soak the plants in the organic Rev water, but I'm not doing that today. I'm going to add some soil on top of where I placed the 3 cosmos. And over here's a hole. Now I can move, and I think I will, this alyssum. I'll move it closer to the edge. I believe that's still alive, and this is so dry. It looks a little well worn because of being dry, but okay, right here is where I'm going to plant. This is a good sized plant. So I'm going to pull it out of here, and I'll probably need to, oh wow, very root bound. Now, I'll show you what I do. Most people don't agree with this, or many don't, but I'm going to set it down here without breaking any of the other plants, and I'm going to chop the bottom 1.5 inches right off. I'm just using this. Sometimes I use my garden knife when I have it handy. Right now I don't. I'd have to go get it. Okay, what that will do is it will stimulate new root growth, and that's where the organic rev also will come in handy. But there, I got that all ready. You see these hanging down? Perfect. So this is going to go in here. I want to get it down into, oops, probably should have put those cosmos in last. And I'll fill in. I use one of these as a scooper. Now I don't put this down in there, make a hole for it, and then plop the plant in the hole, because I don't use the whole root mass. And it's just an extra step for me. It doesn't seem to speed things up in my planting, or hasn't. And so it's just not worth it. Now, here's a place that broke off. I wonder if I could start that. I've never started these from cuttings, but I'm gonna stick it down in here and see. I did a video of perennials you can start from cuttings in May, and I need to share with you, I had done, because many people don't want to use rooting hormone, but so I did some that I didn't use rooting hormone with, and then that I did, and the comparison. So I want to share that with you soon. Okay. Cosmos there. So this one needs to be planted. Look at that, shallow, and it's just supporting that beautiful plant. So I'm just going to tease the roots loose. And I will put that over here. And this is all going to be gorgeous when it fills in. At first, it's going to look a little tattered or whatever, because the plants need to adjust to being planted in here. So yes, okay, so in between, like over in this corner, I'm going to go ahead and put one of these lobelia, maybe 2. This one on this edge. I know they're root bound, so I have often showed you I have no compunction to just ripping that bottom off. You will get new roots, and it will just fill in beautifully. And I'm just kind of loosening the sides because it starts to wrap around. And there we go. And this should fill in, this should fill in. I'm going to put one over there by the ivy. I've got 2 6-packs of this. So I had originally was just going to use these, and then I found these. So that's why I have dual blues. I think I'm going to pull that lavender out. I don't want it in there, so I have to separate it from the, I'll plant it in something else. Separate it from that geranium. Now, one thing about zonal geraniums is you can start them from seed. To keep them bulky and not tall and lanky is you prune them back, you pinch them back when they're very young, and that will help to keep them more stocky and not too tall and lanky or leggy. Okay, I'm debating right here's kind of an empty spot, which I could probably put this other alyssum, or I could put another lobelia, which the blue matches, so it should work fine. And over there, it's got the ivy, or I could find another piece of ivy and put over here to make it balanced out. But these things will start to meld, so it doesn't really matter about the spacing. Okay, I'm going to get some pruners or nippers, and I'm going to deadhead prune tidy. And I will prune this back, then it'll put out more blooms. She's trying to go to seed, and we don't want it to go to seed, we want it to bloom more. So that is all good, and plus also deadheading it helps it to conserve energy for more root expansion. More roots means more plants or more stems and prettier flowers. So yeah, this one, okay, this one. The other one is just budding out, so we'll let that remain, rely on feeding it and the organic rev to get it going. So let me get this other stuff out of the way. I will have to get some more soil made up for my next one. Now, next one, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I probably will use the orchid geraniums out of that bigger container. I think it looks like it has 3 in it. Yeah. And then one of these. I think I just love this. I wish I would have picked up more of this. Maybe they didn't have these. Anyways, it's all good. Like I said, I'm going to see if I can start that from a cutting. You never can tell. Some of them will start really, really quickly. Alrighty, I'm going to find a spot for this, and then I am going to water it in with the mixture of the organic rev and the eco-organic liquid fertilizer. So I think everything's sitting in there well. Let's find a spot. Okay, here is the second container. See, it has the red geranium still in it. These ones overwintered outside here through our cold winter, but it was shoved up against the house and under the side porch roof. So it protected it somewhat. And it barely got any water all winter. So they just kind of went dormant and sat there. Obviously, whatever this was did not make it. That's okay. I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to plant up the plants to match the other container we did. I'm going to start with removing these geraniums. They will get potted up into different pots. I will remove the debris left over from last year. I do have the same type of ivy in here as the other container. Okay, clean up this ivy where it's looking a little sad, getting a little too long. And I can finish that up later. Alrighty. Okay, and clean up these flower heads that are fading, promote new, and when I give it the organic rev and the eco-organic fertilizer, that will stimulate new roots, new flower heads, and all of that. We'll see. And these Cosmos should thicken up. Now let me see. I'm going to go ahead and pinch this one back so it'll spread. It'll actually put out more branching and fill in. Okay, this one already had been done. I'm not sure about this. I got some pieces that broke, so those are the ones I'm going to go ahead and try to start. Okay, there's that one. Now a place to put it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of putting together the containers on my deck. I will share more with you through the summer and what they look like. I'm putting together another couple of containers for back here using the same color scheme, but I am trying out something new, some self-watering inserts that you can use to keep it watered evenly. Whoops. Well, what'd you think of my greenhouse? The design or the drawing of it? Yeah, the other sizes are going to be kits available to order. My husband's trying to get that together, and he's putting together a manual of how to put it together. This is a super sturdy structure. We had to make it or design it, or he had to design it really, in a way that because we get such heavy wet snows that not only would it shed the snow easily, but when the snow bombs, we call them, fall out of the trees, and they are like big blocks of ice, it wouldn't puncture through the roof. The current greenhouse I have, the panels, the clear panels fit into slots divoted into the wood. And when it gets hit by one of those snow bombs, it just crumples, pulls out of the slots and falls through. So this design, that won't happen, as well as the pitch of the roof will have it shedding snow very, very easily. Anyways, all of that being said, yeah, I'm excited about my new greenhouse. The next couple of weeks, we'll start excavating the area that is going and getting everything moved that needs to be moved to get it put up. By next winter, if everything goes right, I should be in hog heaven out in my greenhouse. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I will bring you back and share with you my use of these apparatus that will self-water or have my containers be self-watering. And I'll share that with you too. And I'll let you know how I like them. I'm going to test them out for the year. They do recommend taking them out for the winter so it doesn't freeze and then crack, and all of that makes total sense to me. Okay, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye.